yes, it is Jews in South Africa. Because the Negroes running around talking about it ain't no Jews in Africa. You stupid. And you ain't traveled yet. You know what I'm saying? You're local.
European involvement.
You know the white man always got to get him a little bit. You know what I'm saying? He always want to come in and try and take over something. Somebody just said, a lot of people just say, oh, we was taking off the west coast of that. No, we was taking from the entire continent of Africa. You can see up there in the Congo, we was transported from the Congo. That's Central Africa. All throughout the continent. And you got the nerve to say it ain't no Israelites on the continent of Africa? Hey, shalom, shalom. That thing loud, bro. All praises, all praises. Most High in Christ, bless Officer Nehemiah. Another edition of IUIC Houston in the classroom. We back, y'all. You know what I'm saying? Got brothers live in the building. All praises. All praise for the Most High. Able to teach again. Never take it for granted. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all leadership doing the work, traveling. You know what I'm saying? Traveling, doing the work. You know what I'm saying? We really in every street. I don't care what street you thinking of, we there. You know what I'm saying? The class is called Apartheid of the South African Jews. Apartheid of the South African Jews. Pretty much stemming off of Bishop class on that he did on the Quest 8. I'm kind of, throwing my little spiel on it, you know what I'm saying? My little perception. I was in the building. I was on the boat. You know what I'm saying? I was boots on the ground. You know what I mean? And I'm going to give y'all a little bit of my perspective and some history that I did dealing with some of the places that we touched on the quest. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to get right into it. I know I don't think I'm going to get through the precepts, as always. You know what I'm saying? But we going to try, right? Hey, get Deuteronomy chapter 4, verse 27. Apartheid of the South African Jew. And yes, it is Jews in South Africa. Because the Negroes running around talking about it ain't no Jews in Africa. You stupid. And you ain't traveled yet. You know what I'm saying? You're local. You know what I'm saying? I don't understand local language. You know what I'm saying? Domestic language. Read Deuteronomy 4 and 27 for me. Come on.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, verse 27. And the Lord shall scatter you among the nations, and ye shall be left few in number among the heathen, whither the Lord shall lead you.
The Lord said he was going to scatter us among all nations, and he meant that. We are scattered among every nation you could think of. As far as you want to go, it's Israelites there, right? It said, among the heathen, whither the Lord shall lead you. And he led us literally into all nations. You're going to find Jews everywhere, including the continent of Africa. And I'm going to prove it as we keep going. In Deuteronomy 32, verse 26. Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 26.
Deuteronomy chapter 32 and verse 26. I said, I will scatter them into corners.
The Lord said he's going to scatter us into all four corners of the earth. Come on.
I would make the remembrance of them to cease.
And where he scattered us, he gonna make the remembrance of us to cease. That's why a lot of our people in Africa call themselves out of different names or titles, whether Bantu, Ashan, Zulu. It's many different titles they go after now because the name of Israel has ceased. Because the Lord said, if you don't keep my commandments, I'm gonna scatter you into amongst the nations. And he meant that, and he did that, right? Come on.
To cease from among men.
That's it on that?
Yes, sir.
Get James 1 and 1. James chapter 1 and verse 1. When you actually travel to some of these places, you get a different perspective of when the Lord is saying that he really going to scatter us. And then you get to a land and it's nothing but your people there. Contrary to the narrative they done painted when you was young. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to touch on that, right? James 1 and 1.
Book of James, chapter 1 and verse 1. James, a servant of God and of the Lord Jesus Christ, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad. Greeting.
The 12 tribes of Israel were scattered abroad to the four corners of the earth amongst all nations. So how can a Negro then say it ain't no Jews in Africa? It makes no sense. It makes no sense. That's because they ain't leave their couch. You know what I'm saying? All they know is the couch, that dusty couch. All they know is prophesying under bridges. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But the Lord said he scattered us abroad amongst the whole four corners of the earth. And I'm going to prove it to you. Give me 2 Maccabees 1 and 1. 2 Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 1. Come on.
Book of 2 Maccabees chapter 1 and verse 1. The brethren, the Jews that be at Jerusalem.
The Jews at Jerusalem.
And in the land of Judea, wish unto the brethren, the Jews that are throughout Egypt.
Throughout where?
Throughout Egypt.
The Jews that are throughout Egypt.
Health and peace.
Health and peace. So during this time of the Maccabees, it was Israelites, Jews in the continent of Africa, throughout Egypt. And it wasn't just Egypt. It was throughout the entire continent. And as we go, I'm going to prove that it's South African Jews, it's West African Jews, it's nothing but Jews on the continent of Africa. But they don't know it yet. And it's our job to wake them up to that. Give me Isaiah 11 and verse 10. Isaiah chapter 11 and verse 10. These are all scriptures we know, but it's Negroes who don't know this because their mind is so short-sighted they can't see past Houston, Texas, or Austin, Texas, or California. You got to travel to get a deep understanding of what the scriptures are saying, right? Come on.
Isaiah chapter 11 and verse 10. And in that day there shall be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for an ensign of the people. To it shall the Gentiles seek, and his rest shall be glorious.
The ensign is Christ and his word. It said, into that the Gentiles are going to seek it. Come on.
And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time.
The Lord's going to set his hand again a second time. Come on.
To recover the remnant of his people.
To recover the remnant of who?
Of his people.
He said, I'm gonna go a second time to recover the remnant of my people. Who is God's people? Hold that. Matthew 2 and 6. Matthew 2 and 6. Might be a new brother or sister that's watching this. Who is God's people that he gonna, what it say? Set his hand again a second time to recover. Come on.
Matthew chapter 2 and verse 6. And thou, Bethlehem, in the land of Judah, art not the least among the princes of Judah. For out of thee shall come a governor that shall rule my people Israel.
My people Israel. So go back to Isaiah. The Lord said, I'm going to set my hand again to recover my people. His people is the 12 tribes of Israel. Come on.
Isaiah chapter 11 and verse 11. And it shall come to pass in that day that the Lord shall set his hand again the second time to recover the remnant of his people.
His people, come on.
Which shall be left from Assyria.
His people that are left in Assyria. That means it's Israelites in the land of Assyria. What's Assyria today? That's modern day Turkey. It's Israelites in Turkey. Come on.
And from Egypt.
Egypt, like we read in 2 Maccabees 1, just like during the time of the Greeks, it was Jews in Egypt. It's still Jews in Egypt today. And we got to go and teach them the gospel. Come on.
And from Pathros.
And from Pathros. That's also what? Sudan. That's still Africa. And I'm gonna show you all these lands on the map as we keep going. Keep going.
And from Cush.
Cush is Ethiopia. It's Jews in Ethiopia, Sudan, Turkey. Come on.
And from Elam.
And from what?
From Elam.
From Elam. That's Pakistan, India, Iran. Come on.
And from Shinar.
Shinar, that's Iraq. Israelites are in Iraq. They're scattered in India, Pakistan. They're scattered in Turkey. They scattered across literally into the four corners of the earth. Come on.
And from Hamath.
Hamath, come on.
And from the islands of the sea.
Hamath is modern day Syria. It's Israelites in the land of Syria. And from what? The islands of what?
And from the islands of the sea.
Papua New Guinea, Dominican Republic, all these islands of the sea, it's Israelites on all these places. Because God said, I'm going to scatter them among the nations. I'm going to scatter them to the four corners, to the 12 tribes which are scattered abroad greeting. And the Lord specifies who he's greeting. Israelites that are left that he's going to recover again from all these different land masses. Keep reading.
And he shall set up an ensign for the nation.
Because apologetic might read that one verse and then try to run with it. No, you got to keep reading to get the context. Come on.
And shall assemble the outcasts of Israel.
Assemble who?
The outcasts of Israel.
He's gonna. So who are those people that are scattered in Egypt, Assyria, Pathros, Elam, Shinar, the islands? That's the outcasts of Israel. Come on.
And gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth.
Why's the four corners of the earth? Because Deuteronomy 32:26 said, I'm going to scatter them into the corners. You see how the scriptures line up and connect perfectly? But a brother who don't study, don't travel, will never get the understanding. He just sit on the couch and just hate on us. What, they in Madagascar? It's people in Madagascar? I just thought it was lemurs in the cartoon. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I didn't know what to expect when we got to Madagascar. I was thinking to see some animals jumping off trees. I'm going to keep it 100. America bewitched me, bruh. America ain't nothing but our people out there. I'm going to show you that. I got video of that thing. Hey, go to Acts chapter 6. Acts chapter 6. I'm just establishing that throughout the entire Bible, it's written that Israelites are going to be on the continent of Africa. And you can't refute that or dispute that, right? Acts chapter 6. What verse I want? Acts chapter 6 and verse 8.
Book of Acts, chapter 6 and verse 8. And Stephen, full of faith and power, did great wonders and miracles among the people. Then there arose certain of the synagogue, which is called the synagogue of the Libertines.
The synagogue of the Libertines. I should have had that book article. The Libertines mean the free ones or the freed ones. They're a group of Israelites in Africa. In Africa. All these land masses we about to read in Acts 6 is lands that are in Africa. Come on.
And Cyrenians.
Also Africa. That's I think that's modern day Libya, if I'm not mistaken. Come on.
And Alexandrians. And of them of Cilicia and of Asia.
In Cilicia and Asia, right? Now go to Acts chapter 2, verse 5. Acts chapter 2, verse 5.
Acts chapter 2, verse 5. And there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men, out of every nation under heaven.
Out of every nation under heaven. Because we were scattered amongst every nation under heaven. Everywhere we were scattered. And the Bible is proving it right here. Jump down to verse 8. You know what I want.
Verse 8. And how hear we every man in our own tongue, wherein we were born.
Come on.
Parthians, and Medes, and Elamites, and the dwellers in Mesopotamia.
Come on.
And in Judea, and in Cappadocia, in Pontus, and Asia, Phrygia, and Pamphylia, in Egypt, and in the parts of Libya about Cyrene.
We just read about Libya, Cyrene, where? In Acts chapter 6. That's why they called them the Cyrenians. They were in Africa, in Libya. Come on.
And strangers of Rome, Jews and proselytes.
So all these different nations, it was Jews scattered in. And a lot of these different nations are on the continent of Africa. On the continent of Africa. Or around the parts of Africa. We were scattered everywhere. So how can a non-educated Christian now say Jews are only in America? Because you don't study. And you don't believe the Bible. You want all Israelites to be here so you ain't got to do nothing. You just one day out the week just go and teach to the wind. Brothers be prophesying to the wind literally. I don't understand that thing. How much, like, bro, it ain't nobody outside? Nobody? Brothers is crazy. And they talk about us where they see the fruits of what we doing. You know what I'm saying? Pull that map up real quick. Pull that map up real quick. I want to show y'all a map of Africa. And guess what? We're going to read some of these names on this map that we just read in the scriptures. Can y'all zoom in a little bit? I might have asked IT a little too much. Oh, they on point. They on point. Zoom in a little bit more. All right, that's good. You see at the top, you got Libya, Cyrenia, you got Egypt, you got Sudan that we read about in Isaiah 11, Ethiopia that we read about Isaiah 11, and Cush. What else that? What else we got? We got Nigeria, Burkina Faso. I'm gonna touch on that a little bit as we go through the class. The Congo, when what was that? Napoleon was cutting off our hands. Mauritania, Senegal. What else? Go down. Pull it down a little bit. Tanzania, Angola, Namibia, Botswana. Go to the right. Mozambique, Tanzania. Y'all see that Madagascar? That's where we was at. We was on that small little island off the coast of East Africa or Southeast Africa, whatever you want to call it. Now go over to Port Louis. No, it's right there, right next to Madagascar. I know it's very, very hard to see. To the right, right next to the right up is a Port Louis. Right there. Mauritius, a very small island off the coast of, I guess you could say, East Africa. That's where we was at first. You know what I'm saying? And guess what? On that very small island that you could barely see on that map, it's Israelites all through there. And I'm gonna show y'all. First off, give me Deuteronomy 28 and verse 45. We're gonna keep going to this map as we go through the class. Deuteronomy 28 and verse 45.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, verse 45.
Because one common denominator we kept seeing on every island is the same things we see here in America. And you got to question, how's that even possible? Because the God said these curses were going to follow us. Read that.
Moreover, all these curses shall come upon thee, and shall pursue thee, and overtake thee, till thou be destroyed.
These curses were going to come upon you and pursue you. No matter where you at. You in the Eastern Hemisphere, you in the Western Hemisphere, you always as far as Japan, Asia, wherever you at. These curses were going to pursue you. And I'm going to show you that these curses pursued our people. Come on.
Because thou hearkenest not unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to keep his commandments and his statutes, which he commanded thee.
Now pull up the first one. First one right here. Anybody familiar with the black codes? Anybody ever heard of that? The black codes? Black codes that they instituted here on us. All the laws that they passed on us to keep us impoverished. They had the same thing on that small little island of Mauritius. Read that.
The Code Noir.
Code Noir. Noir means black. It's a French word. So it's the same, the black codes. It's the same thing. Because the curses were going to overtake you and pursue you. As far as that little dot of an island, Mauritius, as they claim to be small like that, the black codes followed them there. Keep reading.
The Code Noir was officially implemented in Mauritius in 1723, when the island was under French colonial rule.
Who was ruling it?
French colonial rule.
Didn't the French just ban us from teaching or holding any type of service out there in France right now? It's the same people that colonized Mauritius. Come on.
It was part of a broader legal framework governing slavery in the Mascarene Islands.
Governing slavery, come on.
Which included Reunion and Rodriguez.
Reunion is another island that we were supposed to hit on the quest. But guess what? Esau cut it off and canceled it. Why would they do that? Because it's under French control. And they trying to stop us from teaching this truth. Y'all brothers better understand y'all worth in this truth. Everything is against you. Every system and plot is set from you. It's trying to stop you from teaching this truth. Everything. Come on.
The decree defined the status of enslaved people, their treatment, and the rights of slave owners.
Come on.
Reinforcing a system of racial hierarchy and oppression.
They reinforce racial hierarchy and oppression. Colonial, it's the same exact thing. Come on, keep reading.
Implementation in Mauritius. The Code Noir in Mauritius dictated that enslaved individuals were property and could be bought, sold, or inherited.
Does that sound familiar? Then did not they do the same thing to us here on the west, in the Western Hemisphere? I'm right? Western Hemisphere. In the Western Hemisphere, they did the same thing to us. They categorized us as property that could be bought, sold, or inherited. The same thing that happened on that small island of Mauritius. That's how we know it's Israelites there. Come on, keep reading.
It mandated that enslaved people be converted to Catholicism.
They did the same thing to us. Only thing it was Christianity. Same thing. Come on.
Forbidding any other religious practices.
What they did?
Forbidding any other religious practices.
Does this sound familiar? Did they not just ban religious practices of us in France? France operate in the same spirit. They've been doing it. They're going to keep doing it. That's why they canceled some of the islands that we was going to hit. They said, nope, we can't have this word touching this island. Nope. Because we know it's Israelites over here, just like they know it's Israelites. So we got to hinder but they can't stop the truth. You know what I'm saying? Esau fight, you fighting a losing battle. And all your minions of the nation of Israel, you fighting even a stupider battle. Come on, keep reading.
Harsh punishments were prescribed for enslaved individuals who attempted to escape or resisted their owners.
Same thing they did to us. Come on.
The code also restricted the rights of free people of color.
The rights of free people of color, come on.
Limiting their ability to own land or engage in certain professions.
That sounds like redlining to me. It's the same thing because the Lord said these curses were going to pursue you and overtake you. And he said, I was going to scatter you into all nations. How does this happen on a small island like that? Because it was Bible prophecy. And it's Bible prophecy in the last days for us to go back there and teach them that they more than Mauritians, that they the 12 tribes that were scattered abroad. Get Micah 2:1. Micah chapter 2, verse 1. I'll probably pull us through the whole class. Micah 2 and 1.
Book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 1. Woe to them that devise iniquity and work evil upon the bed.
Esau just wake up thinking of some evil plot. They just wake up thinking of some destruction, some death, some type of terror they could bring to us. Come on.
When the morning is light, they practice it.
They practice evil. Come on.
Because it is in the power of their hand.
Because guess what? The world is given into the hand of the wicked. Come on.
And they covet fields.
They covet fields.
And take them by violence. And houses. And take them away.
They don't even take houses. They take entire islands. They're coming colonize your entire island. Oh, this is mine now. Now your property, you're going to get sold off here, here, and here. I'm going to tell you where you can live, where you cannot live. Same thing that happened to us. Come on.
So they oppress a man and his house, even a man and his heritage.
How you know how evil you gotta be to oppress how you oppress a man's heritage? That means they search wherever you at, wherever you've been scattered to, and they try to implement the same tactics that they used when it was successful over here in America. It worked over here in America. For sure it'll work on South Africa. For sure it'll work in East India and China. Because a lot of they shipped us. I don't want to jump the gun. Right? Get Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 4. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 4. The good old neighborhood white man colonizing since the beginning of time. Come on.
Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 4. Behold, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, but the just shall live by his faith.
The soul of the Caucasian man, Esau, in the Bible, is not right in him. There's nothing you could do to change him. It's no ransom. There's nothing you could do to change the spirit of this white man. He was born to do evil. That's his purpose. And you trying to include him in something that his spirit would never resonate with. I know a sister asked me at camp the other day, hey, what if a white person want to keep the commandment? I don't give a damn if a white person want to keep the commandments. That's a stupid question. Why don't you keep the commandments? Salvation is for you. He don't got no shot. A white man could keep every law to the T. He still ain't getting in. Ain't nothing he could do. But our people don't understand. They soul ain't right in them. Eventually, they going to show you who they really are. Come on.
Yea, also, because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man, neither keepeth at home.
He transgressive by wine, meaning his lies. He said he's a proud man. Come on. I'm going to show you how proud Esau is in a moment. Come on.
Neither keepeth at home.
He don't stay in the Caucasus Mountains of Georgia, Russia, because that's where they came from. The so-called Khazarians, the Khazars, the Caesars. They dwell in the mountains. That's their homeland. But they don't keep right there. They say, no, I want to inhabit every land that I see. It's mine. They're like a damn kid. You know, a kid 2 years old, mine. That's Esau. Mine. Mine. Sudan, mine. Mine. Damn kid. They don't keep at home. They think everything they set their eyes on belong to them. Or every place they set their foot on belong to them. No, that's the blessing that we got. But our people don't want that blessing. They want to include Esau into our blessing. Our people crazy. Keep reading.
Who enlargeth his desire as hell, and is as death.
Anywhere he go, he start messing stuff up. Destruction, oppression, colonization, poverty, oppression, depression, suppression. You know what I'm saying? Esau's the king of that. Wherever he go, you know how they try to say, when a black person moves to a neighborhood, there goes the neighborhood? No, that should be for Esau. When a white man comes to any area, there goes the neighborhood. There goes the neighborhood. There goes the landmarks. There goes the streets. There goes the name. There goes the language. There goes the history. There goes the culture. There goes the fact. There goes everything. Because Esau's taking it. Come on.
And cannot be satisfied.
And he can't be. He a greedy person. And I'm going to show you how greedy he is. He took Mauritius, right? He took Reunion. And guess what? They took Africa too. Keep reading.
But gathereth unto him all nations, and heapeth unto him all people.
Yeah, they so proud. They say we could get all nations to come under our banner. We want a one world religion. Okay, that's going to backfire on them pretty soon. Or you're going to hear Allah Akbar. You hear Allah Akbar, you better duck. You know what I'm saying? You better, hey, but when I go into the store, bro, I be looking, bro. I be like, because I know one day they gonna pop off. I be mindful where I'm going, bro. I be looking around, you know what I'm saying? Hey, funny story, right? Yeah, I shouldn't be telling stories, bro. I'm gonna go over the time. Hey, we was on a plane, bro, coming back. Bro, 16-hour flight. That thing different. I'm in the seat by myself. I'm like, all praise to the Most. I'm sitting up prayers. I'm like, Lord, please let me get this seat by myself. No, it was a 9-hour flight. We had a 9-hour flight, and then we had a 16-hour flight. I'm like, Lord, please don't let nobody sit next to me. Here come this little weird Arab out of nowhere. Hey, how you doing, my friend? I'm like, trying to shake my hand. What's your name? I'm like, I gave him a generic answer, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, hopefully he'll get the hint. I don't want to talk to you. We in 2 seats. You know what I'm saying? He gets up, he says, my friend, I'm going over there to sit. I'm like, all praises. I'm in a text group. Hey, I got an open seat, y'all. You know what I'm saying? We going down. You know what I'm saying? Before we take off, here he comes again. My friend, I got a seat right there next to you. I'm like, so through the whole flight, I'm just, you know what I'm saying? I can't sleep. It's 9 hours. I'm tired. I can't. They giving us real silverware. I'm like, ain't no way I'm going to sleep with this little weird Arab next to me. It ain't happening. This dude was jumping over the top of the seat. I'm like, yo, what's wrong with this guy? And one time I kind of dozed off, and I looked behind me, bro. He was talking to another Arab. I'm like, I'm like, hey, he at the back of the plane. I'm like, it's about to be over. It's about to be a wrap. You know what I'm saying? I be mindful of these nations, bro. Well, I told that story, boy. You know what I'm saying? Oh, heap it all unto himself all people. These sleeper cells going to activate, right? But the point was, he don't keep at home. And anywhere he go, he brings death and destruction, right? Pull up the map one more time. Zoom down at the bottom. Well, you really got to zoom in. The next stop, we went to Madagascar. Now, I know initially when you hear Madagascar, you think of the movie. And Esau crafty when they do stuff like that, man. You think of the movie Madagascar, but when you go there, it's nothing but our people. Nothing but kids running around everywhere. We actually saw brothers and sisters digging in mines, like actually digging in mines. Hot as hell. I'm like, yo. And guess what else we saw? Esau riding on a little motor scooter with a black kid on the back. I wonder where they was going. Large as his desires as hell. I'm telling you. But we went to Madagascar. Pull up the book. Y'all know this book. Y'all should have this book. If you serious about the truth, you need to have this book. Babylon of Timbuktu by Rudolph R. Windsor. This is a must-have. But while we was on the quest, we started flipping through it, and we found a page that we usually don't pull on the streets. Because how many times do we go to Madagascar, right? Come on. Pull the next page. Zoom in a little bit. Read that for me. Read the top first.
The Jews of the Malagasy Republic. There is an island near the southeastern coast of Africa called the Malagasy Republic. The old name for this island was Madagascar.
Right.
Near the eastern part of this island, on the Isle of Saint Marie, there exists a group of black Jews.
Black who?
Black Jews.
It's black Jews on this little island called Madagascar? Come on.
Who call themselves Zafin Ibrahim.
Which means?
Descendants of Abraham.
So the scholars know this. But what they try to do, they try to discredit Rudolph R. Windsor because he's an Israelite. He's a black man. No, he's a real historian. He did work. He fact-checked. He cross-referenced. And he found this. And this history is a fact because we went there and we saw it. It was a group saying they were descendants of Abraham. Keep reading. Read the next highlighted part.
Moreover, he says, since the Hovas of Madagascar are members of the Malayan family who probably immigrated from Cambodia, this indicates the historical connection with the Jews of Madagascar. Like the Jews of Ethiopia, Uganda.
Hold up. A historical connection with the Jews of Madagascar, like the Jews of Ethiopia. Didn't we read about Cush in Isaiah 11? Come on.
Like the Jews of Ethiopia, Uganda.
It's Jews in Uganda.
And Wasambra.
Wasambra is Jews there too. Come on.
There are a multiplicity of Jewish cultural survivals.
So some of them kept some of the customs that's written in the Bible. Come on.
Complexes, patterns, and traits found functioning among the Jews of Madagascar, such as the following.
Come on.
The day counted from sunset to sunset.
So this group of Jews in Madagascar was counting the day from sundown to sundown. Sound familiar? Come on.
Many fast days.
They had many fast days like the Day of Atonement. Come on.
The eating of beef.
The
New Year festival.
The New Year festival. Keep reading.
The making of a small fire on the first evening of the feast.
Right. Come on.
They have rituals of the purification of the people.
They had the diverse washings that you read about in Leviticus. Come on.
They sprinkle blood of the New Year's ritual.
Where at?
Upon the doorpost.
Showing what? The New Year is around what? Passover time. They were keeping Passover in Madagascar. But it ain't. But it's only Jews in America, right? Brothers is stupid. Come on.
The latter ritual could be reminiscent of the Passover ceremony.
It is. Come on.
Which is observed in the month of Abib.
In the month of Abib. Come on.
This month is the first month of the Jewish civil New Year.
Right. That's why I said the New Year festival. We were celebrating the New Year like we celebrate the New Year when around Passover time. That first new moon, we celebrated, and they was doing the same thing. Come on.
In this month, the kings of Israel were inaugurated.
What does that prove? It is Jews on that island of Madagascar, just like Mauritius, where the curses followed them from place to place, just like us. In Jeremiah 17:4. If this history is so relevant, we're able to find it. How don't they know that? Because the same way we was disconnected from our heritage, the Jews in Africa was disconnected from their heritage. Come on.
Book of Jeremiah, chapter 17, verse 4. And thou, even thyself, shall discontinue from thine heritage that I gave thee.
The Jews they discontinue from keeping them customs. They just like all of us discontinue from keeping our customs. Come on.
And I will cause thee to serve thine enemies in the land which thou knowest not.
Now in them lands, in Mauritius, in Madagascar, throughout South Central, Northeast Africa, we all serving our enemies. Come on.
For ye have kindled a fire in mine anger, which shall burn forever.
Another clue to show that these people of Madagascar, Mauritius, are the Israelites. Pull the next one up. Pull up number, should be in order, number 4. Yeah, read that at the top.
The Indian Ocean slave trade.
Now, we've heard about the transatlantic slave trade. We've heard about the sub-Saharan slave trade. We heard about the Silk Road slave trade. We didn't really hear about the Indian Ocean slave trade. Come on.
Was a vast and complex system of human trafficking.
That
spanned centuries.
It spanned centuries. Come on.
Connecting Africa, the Middle East, South Asia, and even parts of Southeast Asia. Unlike the transatlantic slave trade, which was largely dominated by European powers.
Come on.
The Indian Ocean trade involved a mix of Arabs.
So it was the Arabs during the Indian Ocean trade. Come on.
Persian. Indian.
Elam was in there getting it in, selling us. Come on.
And later European merchants who transported enslaved people for a variety of economic and social purposes.
Y'all see that thing? Because the Indian Ocean is adjacent to East Africa. All that water mass, that's the Indian Ocean. And they were shipping us from Africa east, using the Indian Ocean to send us to where? Japan, to China, to India. All them lands further east, they were shipping us in slavery. Keep reading.
The trade dates back to antiquity, when coastal African communities engaged with Arab traders, providing goods, including enslaved individuals, in exchange for textiles, spices, and metals. By the time of the early Islamic caliphites, 7th century onward, the trade had...
Drop that. Go to the next one. It's the point I wanted. Number 5. Pull up number 5. Read that.
Major trade networks. By the medieval period, the trade routes became increasingly formalized, with several key regions playing central roles.
Now listen up. The Indian Ocean slave trade had several key regions. Now listen to these regions. Come on.
East Africa.
East Africa. Where?
Areas such as Zanzibar.
Zanzibar was a part of the Indian Ocean slave trade.
Mozambique.
And who?
And Madagascar.
Madagascar, read.
Became major sources of enslaved individuals.
Major sources of enslaved individuals. We know that's the 12 tribes of Israel. Because the Lord said in Deuteronomy 28:68, you should get it real quick. Get it real quick. I know these seem basic. When we actually go to these lands, man, open up your understanding of what the scriptures are saying. Because you actually see the curses. The curses followed us into a whole nother day. You know what I'm saying? I think it's crazy. Then we flew back into another day, and the curses was waiting for us. You can't get away from it. Deuteronomy 28:68.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way whereof I spake unto thee.
That's bondage or slavery with ships. The same ships that they use in the transatlantic slave trade is some of the same ships they use to ship us in the Indian Ocean slave trade. Then the nigger gonna say, well, slavery didn't happen. Where are the ships? You stupid. The ships went back to selling cargo and transferring cargo as they was originally intended for. They was never meant to ship human beings. The slave ships never went nowhere. They just start putting cargo back on them. Stupid brothers. Come on, keep reading.
Thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
Just like we were sold in America, they were sold in Madagascar. Further east, come on.
For bondmen,
slave men,
and bondwomen,
and slave women.
And no man shall buy
and
you.
That last part heavy, because there's a lot of African revolutionaries that rose up, but they just keep getting chopped off one by one. One by one, one by one. I'm saying, bro, I'm nervous for Ibrahim Traore, Burkina Faso. What he doing right now is ruffling some feathers. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to touch on him a little bit. Keep reading. Read the Middle East.
The Middle East and Persia. Enslaved people were transported to work as laborers, soldiers, and concubines.
Concubine, they was doing our woman dirty, come on.
In courts and households across the Islamic world.
The what world?
The Islamic world.
And then you got so-called black men talking about their Islam, their Muslim. Look what they was doing to your forefathers and foremothers. But you Islam now, right? Go to Libya talking about you Islam. See what happened to you. You might not make it back. Come on, keep reading.
India and Southeast Asia.
Then they went further. India, Southeast Asia, come on.
Some enslaved Africans ended up in the Indian royal courts, while others were taken to regions such as Java and Sumatra, where they worked in agriculture and domestic service.
Meaning they was in the field just like us. Pull up the next one. Number 6.
European involvement.
You know the white man always got to get him a little bit. You know what I'm saying? He always want to come in and try and take over something because his desires as hell. He ain't never satisfied. Come on.
The arrival of the Portuguese in the Indian Ocean in the late 15th century intensified the trade.
It did what?
Intensified the trade.
That's why I said his desire is as hell. He enlarged his desire as hell. He intensified the trade. Come on.
Portuguese colonists in Mozambique and Goa took enslaved people from Africa.
Come on.
To work on plantations and in households.
And Mozambique, is that the West Coast? Let me look at the map. I don't think that's the West Coast. Because they say slavery only happened on the West Coast. Where Mozambique at? I think that's East Africa. That's right. That's adjacent to Madagascar. Yeah, right there at the bottom. That's not West Africa. Because a lot of people just say, oh, we was taking off the west coast of Africa. No, we was taking from the entire continent of Africa. You can see up there in the Congo, we was transported from the Congo. That's Central Africa. All throughout the continent. And you got the nerve to say it ain't no Israelites on the continent of Africa. Come on, pull up the next one. Pull up I think it's number 7. Nope. I don't want that yet. Hold up. Nah, I don't want that yet. I jumped the gun. My bad. Give Romans 10:14. So if we reading that, it's Israelites scattered in all these places that have been oppressed and continue to be oppressed. What does that mean? We have to go and liberate them with the word of God. It's on us to sacrifice our time, sacrifice our money, and go out there and put our lives on the line to get one of them to repent. That's the job of an Israelite man, not to sit and hate on other brothers' works. Give me Romans 10 and verse 14.
Romans chapter 10, verse 14. How then shall they call on him in whom they have not believed?
We reading and proving through the curses that the people of Mauritius, Madagascar, the entire continent, they're the Israelites. But how they going to believe on the Lord if they never believed on him? That's how they going to call on the Lord if they never believed on him. Come on.
And how shall they believe in him of whom they have not heard?
How they going to believe if they never heard it? Bro, when we went to Madagascar, we didn't even go to camp yet. We saw a sister with a flyer in her hand and a Bible. She was fact checking it. I ain't never see that. That thing was crazy to me Them camps in Madagascar was different. I never seen nothing like it in my life. Them people, when I say hungry for the word, it's a whole nother level. Brothers who was there know what I'm talking about. Keep reading.
And how shall they hear without a preacher?
How they gonna hear about the Lord or who they really are without the preachers? We the preachers, come on.
And how shall they preach except they be sent?
But how they gonna preach except they be the Lord sending us? Right now, the Lord has been sending the brothers from IUIC. It is what it is. Hate if you want. You know what I'm saying? Hate if you want. Come on.
As it is written, how beautiful are the feet of them that preach the gospel of peace and bring glad tidings of good things.
Bring glad tidings of good things. How beautiful are the feet of those that's going to do that. This is our profession. This is our job, brothers, to go out here, sacrifice everything, time, money, sacrifice your life. Some of us, we had our jobs on the line going out to this thing. Some of us ain't almost make it back the way that boat was rocking. You know what I'm saying? That boat was rocking crazy. Bro, the back of the boat was like this, going up like this. I'm not even joking. That thing was crazy, man. It was a crazy experience, but it was all worth it because we the ones that the Lord sent so our people could believe on him again. Give me Isaiah 30 and 20. Isaiah chapter 30, verse 20. Come on.
Isaiah chapter 30 and verse 20. And though the Lord give you the bread of adversity.
The Lord gave us on the Western Hemisphere the bread of adversity. He gave our brothers and sisters on the Eastern Hemisphere the bread of adversity. Come on.
And the water of affliction.
They was crying tears just like we was crying when we getting separated and enslaved. Come on.
Yet shall not thy teachers be removed into a corner anymore.
But the teachers, the preachers that's bringing the glad tidings, they ain't going to just be restricted to Houston, Texas. They ain't going to be restricted to New Orleans. They ain't going to be restricted to New York or New Jersey. No, the Lord is sending out his teachers. Come on.
But thine eyes shall see thy teachers.
So all these places that the Lord scattered into the four corners, he's now using us to see the teachers. We the teachers that the Lord is sending that our people to see so they can repent, just like we repented. And I'm going to prove it to you. Pull up number 7. Pull up number 7. This is Madagascar. Look at this thing. This is in Madagascar. When we marched, we shut the whole city down. The whole island was shut down. We was marching in French, y'all. That's French or Creole? I don't trip. Which that's French, right? We was marching in French. No, bro, this thing was different. Play the next one. That song stuck in my mind for a minute. Since I go around the house singing that. You know what I'm saying? It's a boule. Come on. I shall see thy teachers. Some good stuff right there, man. Pull up number 9. Pull up number 9. Hey, what's so crazy about that march, bro? We had a police escort with no guard. This dude was blocking traffic on foot. Bro, that march was crazy. Bro, we was marching over rugged terrain. I thought I was gonna fall a couple times, bro. That march was different, bro. When I say the whole island stopped, everybody stopped, and we was marching in French. That thing's you had to be there, man. You had to be there. That was good to say, the man that traveled learned many things, man. That thing was different. I still think about this joint, bro. The way the chant was sounding, you know what I'm saying? That thing was crazy. But the Lord said what? Your eyes going to see your teachers. Even on that small island of Madagascar, small island of Mauritius. Play that? This from my phone right here. I just got, trying to bring y'all to where we was at. Look at that camp. The whole village came to the camp. And they didn't just come. They stood for the whole camp. You don't see this in the States. That's Madagascar, y'all.
Whole village came up.
Whole village came through. Take it off. It ain't like in America where they might stand for a few minutes. No, they stood the whole camp. The whole camp. Brothers was teaching in French for like 3 hours straight. You know what I'm saying? That thing, bro, I never seen nothing like it. Where everybody was receptive and everybody was thirsty to hear the word. It was crazy. And you come back to America, you go to camp, you be like, it put a spirit on you, you know? It make you want to go right back. Get Proverbs 25 and 25. Not one fly on the ground. Whole day. Kids running up trying to take flyers and pickpocket you. Some of them kids was demons. You know what I'm saying? Some of them kids was trying to pickpocket us. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good. We left with all our stuff. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But they were so hungry for the word. I never saw camps like that. Come on.
Proverbs chapter 25, verse 25. As cold waters to a thirsty soul, so is good news from a far country.
You know when you thirsty and you get that nice cup and you take a sip of that thing and then you look at the cup. You look at the cup like, is this different water? No. It's water you just never had the real water. You never had the word talk to you in its correct form yet. That's how it was for them people when they received the word. It was like good news from a far country. We came from one hemisphere to teach them the word. And they was receptive. We even taught in I couldn't find this clip for nothing. I was looking for it. We taught in a church. Shout out to Captain Beganai. I said a church. We taught in a school. Captain Galai was over there. I think Captain LaCroix was out there. We taught in a school. It was so many kids in the school that they couldn't hold everybody. So the kids were in the roof, peeling up the roof to listen to them teach the word. I'm telling you. Just like when Christ was teaching and it was the same thing. But I never saw nothing like it. In Matthew 28:19. Matthew chapter 28:19. Come on.
Matthew chapter 28, verse 19. Go ye therefore and teach all nations.
And guess what? Even scattered amongst some of these nations, there was a lot of East Indians, a lot of different nations in there, but that don't bother us. We're going to teach the word, the Lord to separate who the true believers are, who ain't, right? Come on.
Baptizing them in the name of the Father.
That baptism was that cold glass of water through a thirsty soul. The true word of God that's going to cleanse them. That's what they received. The Lord sending us. This is a commandment. He didn't say stay at home. He said go. Go where? To the four corners where I scattered my people. And baptize them with my word. Come on.
In the name of the Father and of the Son and of the Holy Ghost.
Come on.
Teaching them to observe all things whatsoever I have commanded you.
That's what we're supposed to go out and teach. Teach them all the commandments of God. And that's what we did. Come on.
And lo, I am with you always.
And the Lord said, I'm with you always. Come on.
Even unto the end of the world. Amen.
Even to the Lord said, I'm with you always. Just go out and teach all nations. I handle the rest. Sheesh. Ain't no ways, Ariel. Hey, get Habakkuk 3. I'm about to speed this up. Habakkuk chapter 3, verse 14. No, give me the map real quick one more time. Give me the map real quick. And then we go on Habakkuk 3. Now go down to South Africa. That's where we hit next. They canceled a few odd styles, but it's all good. Went to South Africa. We went to, you see right there, Durban, South Africa, and Cape Town, South. Durban, we call it Dirty Durban, bro. This when the shift changed. This when it started to feel like America again. When we got this to deep into South Africa, bro, Durban, South Africa is crazy. It's like New York and Philadelphia mixed in one, on steroids. They wild out there. Bro, I'm telling you, this is when it started to shift. But hey, we were still out there. We still taught the word, right? But even all the way down to South Africa, this Caucasian man found our people, and he started to oppress our people. Give me Habakkuk 3:14.
Habakkuk chapter 3, verse 14. Thou didst strike through with his staves the head of his villages. They came out as a whirlwind to scatter me.
Come on.
Their rejoicing was as to devour the poor secretly.
The white man rejoicing to devour us secretly. Secretly. That's why I said, oh, no, you can't come to the reunion. No. Don't teach the word in France no more. Don't even come together. Because they rejoice when they're able to devour us secretly. That's why they put little Easter eggs in movies and all these things. Because it makes them feel good. These niggas still calling out. Look at this. They don't even know we talking about them with this Marvel movie. They'll never get it. You know what I'm saying? They rejoice when they devour the poor secretly. But the poor is getting the gospel preached to them, and they don't like that thing. Play number 10. This is a way they devour the poor secretly. Come on.
Fundamental to the global prosperity of the advanced countries. Okay? And Africa had a role to play. It has a role as a raw material producer. We will not allow sub-Saharan Africa to escape that. Okay, we do everything to keep sub-Saharan Africa where it is, also impoverished. It's absolutely vital for the prosperity of everyone else. So let's get clear about that. Okay, and this means all the economic structures, all the global institutions, and the economics we teach everyone is all designed to keep Africa exactly where it is. And whether it is Europe or US or now China, it's always the same. We need Africa to be impoverished because we need those raw materials and we need them dirt cheap.
Out of the mouth of the devil himself. It don't get more plainer than that. We need Africa impoverished so we could get the raw materials for dirt cheap. If Africa actually use these materials they got, we gonna be impoverished again. Because I don't know if y'all know about France or not. France looks horrible. France looks worse than Philadelphia. Don't get fooled by these movies with the Eiffel Tower and all that. France is horrible. It's dirt all over the streets, bums everywhere. France ain't the France you see in the movies. So imagine if Africa banded together and say, no, y'all ain't getting none of our products now. France is turning into a third world country. That's why they say, no, we can't allow that to happen. We have to keep them impoverished. Hey, pull up number 12. I'm going to skip 11. I got to skip some of this. Pull up number 12, the Britannica. It's the definition of apartheid. Zoom in a little bit. Matter of fact, just read that part at the bottom. Apartheid policy. You can see that?
Yes, sir.
Got it.
Apartheid, policy that governed relations between South Africans' white minority and non-white majority for much of the latter half of the 20th century.
So apartheid is a policy that governs relations between South Africa's white minority and the non-white majority. The non-white majority predominantly is our people. A lot of our people was there. But they instituted policies to allow the minority to get the upper hand over the majority. Does that sound familiar? The stranger that's within thee shall get above thee very high. You shall come down very low. You can't tell me it ain't Israelites in Africa. Come on.
Sanctioning racial segregation.
Racial segregation.
And political and economic discrimination against non-whites.
Damn, come on.
Although the legislation that formed the foundation of apartheid had been repealed by the early 1990s.
Allegedly.
The social and economic repercussions of the discriminatory policy persisted into the 21st century.
And they still persist to this day. That's why Abraham Traore is trying to rise up and say, no, we're going to keep our own materials. We got gold. We're going to make sure everybody get free health care and all that. He's doing the same thing that Muammar Gaddafi did, right? And you see what happened to him. Anytime we try to rise up for ourselves, they shut it down. Raise that up a little bit. I think there's some more I wanted on that. Yeah, go. Stop. Read, damn, that's a lot. Oh, all right, that's the part I want. Read Population Registration Act. It's near the top. It's in blue, right there. Start right there. Population Registration Act.
Yes, sir. Was made possible through the Population Registration Act of 1950, which classified all South Africans as either Bantu.
As either who?
Bantu.
This act classified all South Africans in either three categories. One was Bantu. Come on.
All black Africans.
All black Africans, a.k.a. the Israelites. Come on.
Colored. Those of mixed race.
So if somebody call you colored in Africa, that's a racial slur. They saying you mixed with some. You think you getting shouted out? No, that's no. They don't know you mixed. You ain't 100% us. You got some white man there. You got some East Indian. They call black people who are a little more light skin or fairer skin, colored. Come on.
Or white.
Or white. So that was with the three main categories. But the main thing I wanted to pull out of that is Bantu. All black Africans, right? Now go to I want to get that first. Pull up number 13 real quick. Remember, it said apartheid was legislation from the white minority to rule over the majority, which means rule over the Israelites. Come on. Number 13. I bet y'all didn't know this.
The Northern Cape of South Africa is a controversial town like no other. A place that has no black residents, where only white Afrikaners call home, and it has been in existence since 1991.
Pause it real quick.
Even after
If you can't pause it. Afrikaners is mainly of the Dutch people, the white people. So they came to that particular area in northern Cape Town, and they created a whole settlement where they said, we ain't letting no black people in. How do you say we ain't letting no black people in the most black continent on the face of the earth? It don't make no sense. But they say apartheid was ended. Lo and behold, this settlement still exists to this day. Orania exists to this day. Keep playing.
Regime that segregated black South Africans.
How long is this video?
Orania is a whites-only town.
I thought I ain't say
Black
38
people
minutes.
cannot live or work here. Every job is reserved for the whites.
Pull the next
I
clip.
believe that.
Pull number 14. The point is, they got a place in Africa where they restrict black people from entering, from getting jobs, from getting houses, from getting property in. How you do that in a continent of Africa? That makes no sense. Pull number 14. Pull number 14.
Is trying to move forward. It's quite the idea that the town like Orania still operates in 2025 while the rest of the country is trying to move forward is quite baffling. And I mean, I do understand the argument that some people make about preserving cultural identity, right? But at what cost? Because we cannot continue to protect spaces that divide us. We cannot allow any part of this country to exist as a state within a state. That's a direct throwback to the tactics of apartheid, and it's not something we can tolerate in a democratic South Africa.
So you could pull it
the
off.
idea that the
Initially, when I saw that, I was like, okay, maybe it's, but then it kind of gave me the feeling that she wanted to be amongst them. It just gave me that weird feeling. We can't be divided. No, we can be divided. It's with them operating that land and saying no blacks, I ain't really got an issue with that. The issue I got with it is the nerve of you to set up on a continent was 90% black and say no blacks allowed. That makes no sense to me. But if you want to get a little space and say, hey, y'all don't come over here, it's nothing wrong with that, Esau. Our people got to stop wanting to be under the white person's coattail. Get Leviticus 20:26 real quick. The Lord wanted us separate from the beginning. He never wanted us around these Caucasian, these other nations. So in that sense, I ain't got no issue with it. But when our people say, no, we can't be divided. What you mean we? What are you talking about we? It ain't no we and them. It's them and it's us. And it's us versus them. Read that.
Leviticus chapter 20, verse 26. And ye shall be holy unto me, for I the Lord am holy, and have severed you from other people.
The Lord severed you. He cut you off from other people. They want to have their little Orania. Hey, by all means. You ain't going to see a black face in that. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, I'm going to say something crazy, bro. Keep reading.
That ye should be mine.
I ain't gonna say that, bro. On my mind, guys, I want to say something crazy about that land where they trying to prosper and grow and have their own businesses, their own hospitals, their own airplanes. They want to have all that. You know what we should do to that land? The same thing they did to our land when we did that. Black Wall Street, it should be a white Wall Street in Africa, in Orania. I'm gonna leave it right there. Get number 15. Get number 15. I want to say a lot more, bro. I don't want to get a strike on the channel. Number 15. Read that.
The land of the heart of Livingstone, or the genius of the Bantu.
Now you saw a bishop bring this book out lots of times. I said, hey, I'm gonna try following the footsteps of our general. You know what I'm saying? Remember when we read it up about apartheid? It said it categorized the African residents into 3 classes: colored white and Bantu. Right? Read that first highlight part.
It is allowed that groups of Israelitish peoples have, from time to time, journeyed into the Upper Nile country.
Journey from time to time. Right? Read the next highlight.
The contention has been made that the extraneous elements of the Bantu was derived from the tribes of Israel.
The Bantu was derived from the tribes of Israel. So when they categorized them into 3 groups, the Bantu, meaning black Americans, what are they saying? Or black Africans, what are they saying? Israelites. They made a separation between who the Israelites were and who they were. They always knew who we were. We never knew who we were. Come on.
Which were first carried away to Babylon, as related in the scriptures, and who afterward, in whole or in part, migrated through Egypt into equatorial Africa.
How they migrate through Egypt? In Luke 21, what they did, they fled deep into the mountains. And they kept fleeing into the mountains. And we start intermingling with people of the land and start building up civilizations. Come on.
And through mingling with native tribes.
And we start mingling with the real Africans. Come on.
Upon whom they imposed much of their own religion and customs. Gave rise to the peoples now known as Bantu.
Now known as the Bantu. The Bantu are the 12 tribes of Israel. Without a shadow of a doubt. You can't get around that, Esau. Or you want to be Edomites with chocolate-covered skin. Give me the next one, number 17.
As for the processes of amalgamation with native tribes, through which so strong a type as the Israelitish would largely become indistinct, we can easily think of the wholesale slaughter of the male population.
The wholesale slaughter of the male population.
In defense of their homes, as in later slave raiding times.
Read the next one, the next highlight.
It is not an unknown thing.
It's not an unknown thing to them, but it's an unknown thing to us. Come on.
That the Hebrew type should be scattered to regions far remote.
What regions far remote? Madagascar, Mauritius, Cape Town, Congo, Angola, Libya. Come on.
And become commingled with native stock.
We start intermingling with the native stock. That's why you got some are called the Nilotes, right? And you got some who are called the children of Shem. You got the Hamites, you got the Shemites. You got the Nilotic people, and you got us. You know what I'm saying? It's not an unknown thing. Meaning Esau always knew this. The Hebrews are going to be scattered to regions far remote. Mauritius is an island far remote. I didn't even heard of that place until I went. Madagascar, I thought it was animals everywhere. But it's villages, it's people, it's kids running around. It's odd people there. Same thing with South Africa, especially Durban. Oh, my God. But Durban is crazy. They do a ritual where they dig up their ancestors after a certain amount of years and kind of like have a party and celebrate. It's called ancestral worship or something like that. Deacon Albael was blasting somebody for that. They said it plain out that Durban is crazy. You know what I'm saying? Cape Town a little bit more, you know what I'm saying? But Durban, wow. Pull up number 18. But since we focusing on the southern part of Africa, I want to intermingle one of the revolutionaries of southern Africa, right? If you look at that, look at those pictures. At the top, you got Patrice Lumumba. To the right, you got Kwame Nkrumah. To the bottom right, you got Chris Haney. To the middle left, you got Thomas Sankara, who influenced a lot of Ibrahim Traore right now, what he doing. And to the bottom left is Steve Biko. Steve Biko. Steve Biko was a man who pretty much founded the Black consciousness movement in South Africa when they was fighting against apartheid. The same way we was fighting against the black codes and colonialism here in America, these men was risking their lives fighting against the same oppression in Africa, right? Pull up number 19 real quick. And you know what's crazy about this? We know this brother as Steve Biko. That's what he's commonly known as. You'll hear that name famously throughout. A lot of people talk about revolutionaries, right? But watch when we play this. I think they say it in the beginning of the clip. Listen to this.
The anti-apartheid struggle in South Africa was dealt a heavy blow due to the death of Bantu Steve Biko, a popular voice of black liberation.
Pause. Anything strange about that name, y'all see? Bantu Steve Biko. But he's always called Steve Biko. His first name, his legal name is Bantu. His legal last name is Biko. His middle name is Steven. His name is Bantu Biko. Meaning what? He's an Israelite. This brother is an Israelite revolutionary that put his life on the line to uplift his people out of oppression. And he is from South Africa. Jump to 15 minutes. I can't go deep as I wanted to for the sake of time on him, but I might split up. I might do this class on some of the African revolutionaries. You know what I'm saying? Go deep into how they risked their life and how the real revolutionaries are reawakening off of some of the efforts that they displayed. Right? Play that.
Steve Biko
right
and
there.
other leaders.
You good. Play it.
Leaders of the Black Consciousness Movement. In 1973, 8 Black Consciousness leaders, including Steve Biko, were banned. This meant that for 5 years they were restricted to the area in which they lived and could not speak to or meet with more than one person at a time.
Pause it. Does this sound familiar? He was banned and restricted to one area. They couldn't come together and meet. They couldn't attend no political they couldn't do nothing. It's the same thing they doing to us in France right now. It's the same thing. Apartheid never ended. It was just renamed, reshaped, and repackaged. Keep playing.
This prevented them from attending political meetings and rallies. The government gave no reason for these bannings, but it was clear that they hoped to crush the Black Consciousness movement.
They wanted to
By
crush
the end of
the Black
1973,
Consciousness
more leaders
movement.
had been banned and some placed under house
Pause it.
arrest.
Jump to 1727. So they banned them and they said, you can't teach this no more. You can't even gather no more. Sound familiar? Come on. 1727.
Consciousness inspired many students in Soweto to take decisive action against their own oppression.
So pause it one more
After-
time. I'm sorry. I got to give y'all just a little bit of the understory of Bantu Biko. Bantu Biko. You know what I'm saying? He rose up. He was real famous in the fight against apartheid in South Africa. He had a big movement. He had 3 movements that he joined, and eventually he kind of spearheaded the Black Consciousness movement. And they was fighting against the oppressors. One of his major quotes is, the biggest weapon from the oppressor is the mind of the oppressed. He was on point with what he was talking about. He was emphasizing black is beautiful. That's one of the terms that he ain't coined the term, but he kind of popularized it in his movement to liberate black people in Africa, or the Israelites in Africa, to get up out of that white colonial rule and do something amongst themselves. And then, you know what Esau said? We can't have that. Keep playing.
The Soweto Uprising of 1976, which began as a protest against the government's insistence that the Afrikaans language be used as the medium of instruction in Soweto's high schools, black consciousness was systematically targeted. Steve Biko, being considered as the father of the Black Consciousness movement, exacerbated this situation as he often ignored his banning orders in order to address crowds and to continue his work in the movement.
Pause. He often ignored the banning orders. He said, I don't give a damn you banning me. I'm still going to teach. That sound familiar? We still going to teach if they ban us. They can't stop the word. And guess what? We going to suffer the same fate that Bantu Biko suffered. Keep playing.
On 17 August 1977, Steve Biko left Port Elizabeth and traveled with a man by the name Peter Jones to the Western Cape to attend a meeting. On their way back, they were stopped at a roadblock and were detained. This happened on the 21st of August 1977. Steve Biko was held at the eastern city of Port Elizabeth, where he was violently tortured and interrogated. He was imprisoned on charges of terrorism. By the 11th of September, he was found naked and chained to a prison cell door. He died in a hospital cell the following day as a result of brain injuries sustained at the hands of the police. Bantus Steve Biko was only 30 years old. The South African Minister of Police announced that...
Take it off for the sake of time. I got to take the rest of it out. This whole document, it's a good documentary on his life. So how he died after he was banned and kept teaching, they found him, they caught him, they locked him up. They stripped him butt naked and they beat the brakes off this brother. So he had brain aneurysms. And then what they published, oh, he died because he had a 7-day hunger strike. It's the same thing they're gonna do to us. They're gonna say stop teaching the Bible and we ain't gonna stop. And they're gonna start killing us. We're gonna start getting sealed. and we're going to get closer to ruling over our enemies. All the revolutionaries that rose up to fight against apartheid in Africa, America, the Caucasian, the Edomites, thwarted all the efforts, killed all the revolutionaries. Because J. Edgar Hoover said, we got to stop the rising of a, one key thing he said, that I noticed, we got to stop the rising of a black messiah. Singular. But he didn't know that IUIC been raising up black messiahs every day. Get Obadiah 1:21. Get Obadiah chapter 1, verse 21. That's why it's moving unstoppable. That's why Esau's so scared. Man, if we just kill him, it's 100 of them. We all operating on a little bit of Bishop Nathaniel's spirit. You know what I'm saying? And they can't beat that spirit out of us. It's on the Lord to take it, right? Obadiah 1:21.
Obadiah chapter 1, verse 21. And saviors shall come upon Mount Zion.
Saviors shall come upon Mount Zion. And them saviors the Lord is going to send out to the scattered abroad, to the lost sheep that was scattered to the four corners of the earth. Come on.
To judge the mount of Esau.
And we're going to judge Esau for all the crimes he did, all the blood he spilled on this continent and on that continent. We're going to judge you. Come on.
And the kingdom shall be the Lord's.
And the kingdom going to be the ultimate black messiahs. But in the meantime, every class, every fast, every Passover, every law we keep is the building of black messiah, of saviors. And they fear that thing. That's why they try to stop some of them trips on the quest. But they can't fight against God. Give me Nehemiah 9:27. We almost done. Nehemiah chapter 9, verse 27. Maybe that was a typo. Maybe the saviors was a typo. Nehemiah 9:27. Come on.
Nehemiah chapter 9, verse 27. Therefore, thou deliverest them into the hand of their enemies, who vexed them.
Come on.
And in the time of their trouble, when they cried unto thee.
When they cry, how they gonna cry if they don't know who to cry to? Now the brothers and sisters in Madagascar, they know who to cry to. And Mauritius, they know who to cry to. South Africa, they know who to cry to now. When we did the Passover all throughout the entire continent, they learning who to cry to now. Come on.
Thou heardest them from heaven.
And the Lord gonna hear us again. Come on.
And according to thy manifold mercy, thou givest them saviors.
According to the mercies of God, he give them saviors. That's the bishops, the deacons, the captains, the officers, the soldiers, the MOV getting trained up to be some of them saviors. Come on.
Who save them out of the hand of their enemies.
And through the word, we're going to save our people no matter where they scattered to. Play the last clip, number 20. Let me show you, let me give you a visual of some of these saviors. Play that. Get where the sound.
Bless Israel, Bishop Nathaniel. Some of you call me the general, and I appreciate that term, but today we're going to find out if I'm a true general. So as we know, the 12 tribes of Israel, like James 1:1 said, were scattered throughout all nations.
We need more schools of the truth, of the gospel being taught, okay? We need to hit these areas, Madagascar even.
Saviors shall come up upon Mount Zion.
Let me good.
Saviors.
Hey, Shalom Israel, Most High in Christ bless. We're in Diego Suarez in Madagascar. We are doing an international march. This is Southeast Africa. Can you believe it? All right, so you see the men back here. Got Bishop Kanad, Bishop Yawasa. We're doing big things. So this ain't about being local. This is about being global. This is about being international. Now, I'm not knocking local, that's fine. But God has IUIC on an international mission, a global mission.
C'est ça Dieu dit que vous êtes. Et les autres nations sont... Les autres nations sont
each other. Just how it looks out here, it looks like that where I'm from in the hood. We at the bottom of society. Why? Because we have not been taught the law. Worldwide! Worldwide! Unity! 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 Never give up! Never give in! Never give in!
That's some good stuff right there. Make you want to go back to another quest. Give me Baruch chapter 4. We almost done. 3 more scriptures. We out of here. Baruch chapter 4, verse 36. Come on.
Baruch chapter 4, verse 36. O Jerusalem, look about thee toward the east.
Look about thee toward the east.
And behold the joy that cometh unto thee from God.
The joy that's coming unto you from God. Come on.
Lo, thy sons come, whom thou sentest away. They come gathered together from the east.
From where?
From the east.
From the east.
To the west.
To the west.
By the word of the Holy One.
By the word of God.
Rejoicing in the glory of God.
So no matter where you at, the Western Hemisphere, the Eastern Hemisphere, Madagascar, Detroit, Michigan, give me some more places. Spain, Italy, France, Mexico. The Lord said he gonna send his sons, he gonna gather them again by the word of the Holy One. And we gonna come back rejoicing, brothers and sisters. Take our punishment now, but the Lord is sending saviors. Give me Zechariah 8. Zechariah chapter 8 and verse 7.
Zechariah chapter 8, verse 7. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, behold, I will save my people from the east country.
He gonna save his people from Madagascar, from Mauritius, from Cape Verde, from Libya, from Egypt, from South Africa. He gonna save his people. Come on.
And from the west country.
And from the west, from all the lands of America. Come on.
And I will bring them, and they shall dwell in the midst of Jerusalem.
We gonna dwell in our rightful land again, brothers and sisters. No matter where you at, what you going through, the Lord is gonna send somebody to uplift you and bring you back by his word. Come on.
And they shall be my people.
We gonna be God's people again. No more Madagascar, no more Mauritius, no more South African, no more African American. Come on.
And I will be their God.
And he gonna be our God again. Come on.
In truth and in righteousness.
In truth and in righteousness. Last scripture, Zephaniah 3 and verse 10. Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 10. Come on.
Zephaniah 3, verse 10. From beyond the rivers of Ethiopia.
Beyond the rivers of Ethiopia. Pull a map up one more time. From beyond the rivers of Ethiopia. Zoom into the top. Right there. You see Ethiopia? Zoom in. Zoom in. Sudan. Zoom in some more. Zoom in some more. Right there. Beyond the rivers of Ethiopia. That's the blue now, and that's the white now. Beyond the rivers is all the way further down into Africa. Pull a map up a little bit. That's Sudan. That's Uganda. That's Kenya. That's Tanzania. That's Mozambique. That's Malawi. All those regions, the Lord said, from beyond the rivers of Ethiopia, come on.
My suppliants. Even the daughter of my dispersed.
All of those lands, you see that river pass through, the Lord said, that's the daughter of my dispersed. And not just those lands, the entire continent of Africa is the daughter of God's dispersed. It's a remnant of Israelites on the entire continent of Africa. Come on.
Shall bring mine offering.
Bring my offering, mean they're going to repent and keep the commandments. Read.
In that day shalt thou not be ashamed for all thy doing.
We ain't going to be ashamed for the things we did. In South Africa, they doing all type of crazy stuff. In America, we doing all type of crazy stuff. It's no difference. Come on.
Wherein thou hast transgressed against me. For then I will take away out of the midst of thee them that rejoice in thy pride. And thou shalt no more be haughty because of my holy mountain.
You no more going to be haughty and stiff-necked. Read.
I will also leave in the midst of thee an afflicted and poor people.
We the afflicted and poor people, scattered to the four corners of the earth. Come on.
And they shall trust in the name of the Lord.
We going to trust in the name of the Lord. Read.
The remnant of Israel shall not do iniquity.
There's going to be no more sin amongst the 12 tribes. This is going to be a glorious day. Read.
Nor speak lies. Neither shall a deceitful tongue be found in their mouth.
Read.
For they shall feed and lie down, and none shall make them afraid.
No more apartheid. No more slavery. Come on.
Sing, O daughter of Zion.
And we supposed to sing when we hear this. This the good news coming from a far country. Read.
Shout, O Israel. Be glad and rejoice with all the heart, O daughter of Jerusalem.
Read.
The Lord had taken away thy judgments.
It's going to come a point the Lord take away our judgments. Just like in Galatians 3:13, he's going to take away the curses away from us. Come on.
He has cast out thine enemy.
He's going to cast out our enemy. Come on.
The King of Israel, even the Lord, is in the midst of thee.
Read.
Thou shalt not see evil anymore.
We ain't going to see evil by sin or the evil of the earth anymore. Come on.
In that day it shall be said in Jerusalem, fear thou not.
Don't fear now. Wherever you going through, you catching hell. They trying to stop you from reading the Bible. They trying to stop a revolution from reoccurring. Don't fear, the Lord said. Come on.
And to Zion, let not thine hands be slack.
Don't let your hands be slack, because the Lord is going to upgrade our bodies. And he going to use us as his battle axe. Don't let your hands be slack. Come on.
The Lord thy God in the midst of thee is mighty. He will save.
God's going to save us. Read.
He will rejoice over thee with joy.
And he going to rejoice when he save us. Read.
He will rest in his love.
We are his love. Come on.
He will joy over thee with singing.
We ain't just going to be the only one singing. The Lord going to be singing when he save his people scattered abroad. Read.
I will gather them that are sorrowful for the solemn assembly, who are of thee, to whom the reproach of it was a burden.
Read.
Behold, at that time I will undo all that afflict thee.
He undoing all the nations that afflicted us. Come on.
And I will save her that halted, and gather her that was driven out.
That's us.
And I will get them praise and fame in every land.
We going to get praise and fame in every land. You no more going to separate us in 2 and 3 different categories. You no longer going to call us out our God-given name. No more apartheid, no more black codes, no more slavery. Come on.
Where they have been put to shame.
Every land we put to shame, we're going to get praise and fame. Come on.
At that time will I bring you again, even in the time that I gather you.
Right now, the Lord is gathering us to bring us again, to get that praise and fame, to sing and see our enemy thrust out in front of us. Come on.
For I will make you a name and a praise among all people of the earth.
Because we were scattered among all people of the earth. Come on.
When I turn back your captivity.
When the Lord turns back our captivity.
Before your eyes.
And we're going to see that thing. Read.
Saith the Lord.
Meaning, saith the Lord, it cannot be undone. It can't be broken. Those where y'all got something from this class, man. I'm also Nehemiah. Hey, the apartheid in South Africa is real, but the Lord is sending saviors to deliver his people. Most High in Christ bless.
What club was that at?
That was admit that a lot of people don't even realize they.
I've called her. She hasn't responded. I've called her more than a few times.
But the Zulu nation, I'm like, what the hell is this? I know nobody know what I'm talking about. You'll leave me on the island by myself. I don't know what the hell Bishop's talking about. That's what y'all do. Then after class, yeah, I knew what you were talking about. I just don't want to be caught out there. The hell is this? Get on my damn nerves. So read that again, 31.